Welcome, Cat Wealth community. We're back. We're going to make the filling for our single crust pie. This is going to be my favorite apple peach pie. It's a country tart, not really a pie, because a pie, to be really technical about it, is two crusts crimped together. This recipe is much simpler than that. We're also not making a formal tart which has to use some kind of fancy pan. We're just using basically a single crust pie, and we're lapping that crust over the edges of our filling. We're going to need 1 Granny Smith apple, peeled and sliced, 3 of these peaches. These are quite large. If they were medium, we'd probably need 4 of these peaches. And we're going to peel and slice those, and they're going to have a little bit of lemon juice on them. And then we're going to throw over them a 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, and 1/4 teaspoon each of cinnamon and ginger. If you're really adventurous, you might want to put a little extra cloves or allspice in, but that's only to taste. We're also going to put a dash of salt in this. So that's going to be our recipe, and let's break that down. So we have a peeled Granny Smith apple here, and what we're going to do is core it and slice it, and put a little lemon juice on it. Notice how thin the slices are. This is not going to be an apple that's sliced by an apple slicer. It has to be pretty thin. The idea here is that this is going to be the foundation of our peach apple country tart. Okay, and we put a little bit of lemon juice on this. Gives it a little bit of zest, just a nice flavor, because you're going to have the sweetness, the sugar, and the peaches are extremely sweet. So we're just going to mix that up, and then we're going to lay these eventually in the bottom of our crust. So first, you cut the peach with the skin still on it, and then you can take the skin off of it, which is super easy to do. I am often tempted just to eat the skin that comes off the peach, because there's so much delicious flavor in that. But you're going to take this skin off the peach, and then you're going to slice it. Not before. Okay, now we have our single crust pie, and we have our apples sliced, and they've got a bit of lemon juice on them, and we're just going to lay them in the bottom of this crust, and they should be enough to go around the bottom of the crust once. Just lay those out, and they're going to form the foundation of our peach apple tart. It doesn't really matter what they look like, because you're not going to see them. So we're ready to make the topping that's going to go on our peaches. And so we start with a 1/2 cup of sugar, it's plain granulated sugar. And we put that in our little bowl. And the thickening we're going to use is 3 tablespoons, level tablespoons, of cornstarch. Cornstarch is a bit better at thickening than flour. particularly for this purpose. Okay. And then we need a 1/4 teaspoon each of cinnamon, and a little bit of ginger. And as I said, if you want to get adventurous, you can use clove, you can use a little allspice. And what we're going to do is we're just going to use a fork, mix this up. And this is going to create a lovely little sauce, because you'll see when I put it on the peaches just how fast that sugar draws out peach juice. We're going to put a dash of salt in here too. There's that dash. Throw that on our peaches that have a little bit of lemon juice on them. And we're just going to toss this together. It doesn't take long at all for that sugar to instantly draw out the juice of the peaches. You can see this was dry as a bone when I put it in here, and you can see already there's so much peach juice. Okay, I'm going to grab a spatula and we're going to put that right in here. So we just put that into our pie plate. And we arrange that over our apple foundation. It's very juicy. Now, to the top of this, we're going to dot not more than a tablespoon of butter. Just enough to kind of enhance the richness of this little country tart. You probably don't need more than about a ½ tablespoon of butter. Certainly not more than a tablespoon. And then what we do is we just draw the edges of this pie crust over the filling and make a little purse for the filling. I like crystallized sugar. It's very pretty. And we just sprinkle that over the top. And we put it in a 425-degree Fahrenheit oven for about 30 minutes. May not be done after 30 minutes because ovens don't always have the temperature that they say they have. If it's not bubbling, it's not done. You can leave it in there 5-10 more minutes. You might want to check it every 5 minutes. When it's bubbling, then you know that the butter and the peach juice and the cornstarch have created your lovely sauce, and you have a perfect little country tart.